All right, guys, welcome to the Off the Bench podcast. Will Randow, right?
Randow.
How you spell your last name?
Randow.
R-A-N, and it's Randow.
Mm-hmm.
Should be R-A-N-D-O-H.
It was Von Randolph, but it got changed to Randow.
Oh, when they got off the ship?
Yep.
Yeah, that happened a lot back then. Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate you hopping on with us today. Guys, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment to this page, hit the notifications button. Will, how long you been here now?
Since October of last month.
October of last year?
I mean, last year, yeah.
And how long have you been coming to the office?
Regularly since January.
Since January. Okay. Yeah. Has it changed? What has changed for you personally since, because like we work spots, I mean, we scream it all the time, and I don't know if people realize the importance of it, of coming to an office. What's changed for you since you started coming to an office, reporting to an office weekly?
I say the biggest thing is the accountability. Being accountable, people ask where you were when you don't show up for a few days.
Right.
You know what I mean? Also, it helps me get me out of the mindset of like compartmentalizing work and home. I personally can't work from home, and I know that about myself. So I have to report to an office and be held accountable. I mean, I can hold myself accountable, but there's also something that comes with the energy of being around other people who are doing the same thing you are.
No doubt.
You know,
it's a lonely business.
It can be, and I tried it.
Yeah, you did. And you're getting married too, right?
June
what?
3rd.
That's my son's birthday. That's my mom's birthday. Now that's going to be your anniversary. That's a lot of June 3rds. That was the day I stopped using drugs too.
Oh, wow.
Yep. June 3rd, 2003.
Mine was actually May 17th. So I'm coming up on 5 years.
Good for you. Yeah. I'll never forget that day. So, so you got, and you're still working, like, and here's why I asked you that. Like, people have stuff going on all the time in their life, right? Like, I love when people go, well, I'm just really busy. Who isn't? Who do you know that's not really busy?
I think everyone is. So, I think someone told me, you got to treat it like you're working for someone else. If you don't show up to work, you're going to get fired.
Right.
And essentially, like, I have to look at myself every morning and say, would I hire me or not?
Right.
And that's part of the accountability of coming to an office for me.
Yeah, 100%. And then the work spots discounts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's crazy. I think, who was Ron? I was in Cleveland on Monday, and Ron was like, he saved, I want to say $12,000 last year on work spots leads. $12,000 on the discounts.
And it costs $1,200 a year because it's $100 a month.
Yeah, correct. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, but so a lot of things have, and you're new. You've never sold insurance prior to this, right?
No, I'm not.
And I always, when people come in, I tell them the most important things you need to get good at are managing your schedule, managing your lead flow, and being good on the phones, right? And when you and I first started talking, your schedule and your lead flow was not where it needed to be, right? How did you get both of those where it was manageable to where you started seeing growth? And I think being gold producer, platinum producer, your goal is to be a Hall of Fame producer, right?
Absolutely.
Which is 400 families in a year. But and you said in the last 2 weeks, you've already helped 16, 17 families?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Perfect. So can you explain to everybody how you made that transition? What helped you get your lead flow right? Minus just going in and buying them in the CRM. And then what helps you get your schedule right?
So schedule definitely is reporting to an office. That's probably the biggest thing that helped get that right, and the accountability from other people. Because like you said, it is a lonely business. And as far as lead flow goes, I don't know. Well, you know that I'm not scared to spend money on leads. So what I did is I just kept trying different sources. Try some BPLs here, or aged CRM leads here, or internet leads there, and just kept working with it. And it's still evolving for me. So I'm still trying to fine tune that. But I'd say that was probably the biggest thing, is not being scared to spend the money to pay for the leads, because if you spend $1,000 in leads, right, you know you're going to at least help one family. And if you help one family, you got your money back, and then that was a learning experience. So you didn't technically lose any money, but you learned a lot of knowledge. You gained a lot from that.
So, and this is true. And I also believe, like, to me, you could give me a phone book. If it was scrubbed against the do not call list and all that other stuff, like I believe you could give me a phone book and I could call, set appointments to sell life insurance, because everybody needs it. Now, the beautiful thing is, I don't care what kind of lead you got. At some point in time, they were interested in life insurance, and they should still be interested to know if their life insurance is good, if it's going to be there when they need it, what it is, because most folks don't, right? When you go to clients' homes now, do they know exactly what they have?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Nope. Most of them do not. And then you finally get the policy out and you start looking over it with them, and they think that they have something that they don't have.
Sure.
Or they're overpaying for a guaranteed issue policy and they're completely healthy.
Right. And that's what happens 90% of the time, right? So our job is to just get in front of these people and make sure that what they have is what they think they have. As far as the schedule goes, I do agree with you, the accountability of being in an office. But when we sat down, you had planned out like 3 or 4 months right in front of me, right?
Yep. All that I did is I just went to Staples and bought a yearly planner, and just wrote in there work day, or run day, dial day, run day or dial day. And that became my work schedule, that I try to stick to the best of my ability, because I used to work for Amtrak, and that's very, very strict and very scheduled.
Right.
If you're a minute late, you might as well not show up to work because they send you home.
Wow.
So I came from that background, like minute by minute.
Sure.
So I kind of have that mindset, and I know that that's how I have to treat this in order to be successful.
Can you imagine if folks treated this like that? Like, seriously, like if you show up a minute late, you might as well not even come in. They're going to send you home.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's nuts.
And they mark you. And if you get marked 3 times in 30 days, or I think it was like 5 times in 90, you get wrote up a few times and you're gone.
That's because it's union. Yeah. That's why they got to do it 3 times and 5 times and write you up. But to me, I look at the folks that are disciplined in this business and watch how successful they are in comparison to folks that aren't. And that's why I said it falls in. If you're struggling, it falls into one of the 3 categories: either your schedule, your leads, or your phone script. Because once you get home, it's not complicated, right? I mean, to me, I don't think it is. Some people might say it is.
No, I don't think it is. And I personally believe that 20% of the homes that you walk into are just going to buy something, no matter what you're selling, just because there's buyers.
Sure. And
they fill the form out. So, like, doesn't matter how good you are at it. If you have what they want or need, they're just going to buy it just because.
That's right.
20% of the people, I think.
And you and I have talked plenty of times when you're in the home, when you're at home. And I think, you may not like how I answer you a lot, but a lot of it's on purpose. Like, when you call and go, I didn't write this one. Why didn't I write it? Like, there's usually not many reasons other than 2 or 3 why you didn't write it. And the reasons are they didn't like you. They didn't trust you. They couldn't afford it. And you didn't show the value. And it's like, I think there's a lot to you figuring it out without somebody showing you tricks or techniques. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that, well, one of the things that I was told is you have to run your first 100 appointments, right? And the quicker you do that, the faster you get through cutting your teeth, or whatever you want to call it. And me, like most people, I drug my feet on it, and it just took a lot longer to learn.
Yeah.
Because I came from solar, and we had a very structured sales pitch, from everything from the opening story to the cool down at the end. It was all structured. All you had to do was just repeat it like an actor.
Right.
And if you had a little bit of enthusiasm, it was fairly simple.
Sure.
This is a little bit different than that. You're not just putting solar panels on someone's house. You're protecting their family in the event something, right. Not in the event, when something does happen, So it's a little bit different than that.
It is. And I think when you learn to just really care about helping them to an extent where you'll say whatever, because I just care about you, right? If some of you loves doing something really bad, you're not going to say anything because you love them. You care about them. When you can get to the point like that with your clients where you're not afraid to really challenge them, it gets easy. So we're going to wrap this up in a second, but you came from solar.
Yes.
The upside to this business, to me, is it's the greatest business ever created, in my opinion, right? How many people doing what you did at solar would kill it here?
Oh man, most of them. Especially the ones that were outdoor knocking.
Right.
This is so much easier than that because you have warm leads. You're not just cold door knocking and walking through neighborhood after neighborhood. So I would say that most people would do substantially better here than they would at solar. Okay.
So with that being said, so like all y'all that are watching this, because that Will, or if you don't know Will, was in solar. Some of these other like contracting companies that have people going around knocking on your doors. Hey, you need new windows? Looks like you need new windows, right? Like all of y'all should reach out to Will and talk to him, because this business is simple if you have somebody that's willing to teach you, and you're willing to do that because you've got a couple guys you're working with now.
Yep.
And you plan on bringing a bunch more to our conference this Saturday. I'm stupid excited about that. The links, click on the link. But if somebody from that industry, solar, construction, people that just door-to-door stuff, if they want to come work with us, how would they get a hold of you? Or anybody else for that matter, how would they get a hold of you?
You could always reach out to me through my email. It's Randow, Randow 0803 @gmail.com. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And all you have to do is just ask, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have.
What's your Facebook handle? Or what's your Instagram handle?
It's Randow85.
Okay, and what's your cell phone number?
443-876-7881.
Guys, you heard it here first. In the last couple of weeks, he's helped 18 families plus. Gold producer is depositing more money than you've ever made from an industry in the shortest period of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he can help you get there. It's just a matter of you wanting to work and make a change. So hopefully we'll see y'all soon. I appreciate you guys. Will, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, guys, until next week, make it a big one.